everyone, I'm Zoe Markos-Thresher. Welcome back here if you've practiced with me before. Otherwise, a warm welcome from me virtually. I'm really looking forward to guiding you today through a soft but strong, steady practice. We're going to focus on moving with the breath today, finding that grounding and steadiness through each asana that we flow through. So fetch anything that you would like to use for your practice today, and we're all going to arrive in a child's pose. So taking the knees as wide as the mat, bring the big toes to touch and send the sit bones back towards the heels. Walking the arms out ahead, take a full breath here as you arrive, in through the nose. Part the lips and slowly exhale out the mouth. In through the nose, expanding into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine, releasing. The final breath, inhale. Grounding through hands, grounding through knees, tops of feet as you exhale. Starting to walk your hands over towards the left-hand side of your mat. If you feel like there's space, you can bring the right hand to interlace on top of the left. Find length on your inhale, breathe into the right side body, and exhale, release the right shoulder down towards the earth as the sit bones continue to move back towards the heels. Breathing here. Exhale, one more breath. And exhale, nice everyone. Just walk the right hand in towards the center of your mat. Ground through the right hand and spread the fingertips out. Shift the hips up and release the left hand up towards the sky on an inhale. As you exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right, but hover the left shoulder away from the earth. We're going to go for 2 more here as we move with our breath. Take an inhale, open through the chest, reach the left hand high, and exhale to thread and lower, hover the shoulder. 1 more inhale, lengthen, open collarbones, and exhale to thread and lower. From here, drop the shoulder all the way down towards the ground. Back of the hand is towards the top of the floor. And start to release your right hand up towards the sky. As you exhale, the fingertips are going to travel towards the top of your mat. There might be a block there to catch the hand. You can always tuck the toes under here for extra support as well. Breathing for an inhale. And releasing, exhale. Bring the right hand back where it came from. Press into the hand, lift the arm to the sky, inhale. And exhale, drop the left hand down towards your mat. From here, just bring the knees underneath the hips. Turn the fingers to face the knees. And we're just going to shift the weight back and forward. So starting to find some opening, nice stretching into the wrists, into the forearms. Inhale, the weight moves forward, shoulders past the wrists. And exhale, guide the sit bones back towards the heels. Find that nice stretch through the backs of the arms. Exhale, moving back. Final one, inhale. And exhale. I really like this one for my wrists. Okay, coming through center, keep the hands as they are. We're going to take a cat-cow from here. As you inhale, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the tailbone towards the sky as you press into the base of the palms. And as you exhale from here, tuck tailbone round through the spine. Coming back through center on an inhale. Turn the hands back towards the front of your mat. Walking them towards the top corners of the mat. Find your melting heart pose, Anahatasana. Breathing, inhale. And softening into the chest, into the armpits. As you exhale, keep the tailbone tilting up towards the sky. A full breath. Exhale. Okay, starting to pad the hands back where you came from. Find your tabletop. Take the knees nice and wide again. Find your child's pose. Hips back towards the sit bones. Refined length through center. Start to walk the hands over towards the left. And again, if there's space, maybe the left hand interlaces on top of the right. Softening left shoulder, left armpit, left sit bone all the way back and down towards the heels, towards the earth. Grounding through hands, grounding through feet. Deepening the breath for 1. And exhale. Nice, everyone. Just bringing that left hand into center here. Start to send the hips up as you arrive. Releasing the right arm up towards the sky. Stretch and lengthen. exhale, we're threading it underneath the left. Hover the shoulder away from the ground. Here for 2 more. Inhale, move at your own pace. And exhale, find that gentle twist. Gaze towards the left elbow. Final one. Exhale. Release the shoulder down towards the ground, the back of the palm, and start to lift the left arm up towards the sky if that feels okay. Take a full breath, inhale. And as you exhale, the left hand is going to come towards the top of your mat. Maybe it finds a block for support. And keep thinking about pressing into that right shoulder to find that opening twist through the spine. Let's breathe for 1. Inhale. And exhale, staying. Nice. Left hand comes back the way it came. Press, lift, open. Find that rotation. And drop the right hand down towards the floor. Find your tabletop. Let's take 1 normal cat-cow. So just step the knees in a bit closer. As you inhale, arch the spine, extension, lift gaze. And exhale to round. From this rounding shape, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, find downward facing dog. So making any adjustments that need to happen here, taking the hands a bit wider, the feet a bit wider. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other, shifting the hips from side to side as you start to warm up into this space that we will return to a couple of times throughout class today. Any movements that want to be moved through, a nod, a shake of the head, spreading the fingers, spreading the toes. And then starting to draw the energy up through the hands as you start to find some stillness here. And wrapping the triceps together so you feel like the shoulders and the back muscles start to engage here, allowing some softness through the back of the neck. On your next exhale, visualize the breath traveling all the way down the hamstrings into the backs of the calves and grounding through the heels, Pada Bandha. Take a breath as you inhale, gaze forward, lift through the heels, and exhale, bend the knees, send the belly back towards the thighs. From here, keep the hands walking back, press 1 by 1, stepping them all the way back towards the toes. And take a halfway lift here, keeping the knees soft, gaze forward. Exhale, rebend the knees and find a ragdoll forward fold. From here, any options with the arms, you can take a bind of the elbows. If you want, you can take an interlace around the base of the spine, moving the stretch into the neck and just swaying the weight from side to side. If you want to take it into the shoulders, interlacing the hands behind the back and stretching the knuckles up towards the sky, up and over. Breathing, inhale. And breathing, exhale. Releasing the hands down towards the floor. Flatten the palms as you walk the hands back towards the top of your mat, finding your downward facing dog. This time we lift the heels, gaze forward and take a few steps to arrive at the top, ground the toes behind the wrists. Take a halfway lift, use the fingers to travel up the shins. And exhale, folding forward. Let's stand tall on an inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, lifting your prayer towards the sky. And exhale, circle the arms backward, engage the glutes, lift the heart space. Breathing as you inhale, lifting the arms back towards the sky. And hands come to prayer at heart center. Exhale, find your Tadasana mountain pose. Drawing up the energy through the feet, the toes, the base of the heels up through the legs, zipping the quads up towards the hips. Tucking the tailbone under and drawing the lower belly in for Uddiyana Bandha to engage and lift. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears on an inhale and allow them to travel back and down the spine. Exhale. A gentle tuck of the chin towards the chest allows us to lift up through the back of the neck and grow tall through the crown of the head. Fluttering the eyes closed, setting an intention for your practice today, whatever reason you arrived at your mat at this particular time. Let's all take an inhale. And sigh it out, release your intention. Exhale. Blink the eyes open. Start to move the weight in towards the right foot. Draw the left knee up towards the chest on an inhale. Lift the arms up alongside the ears if that feels good. As you exhale, we're going to start to send the weight back. Find a warrior 3. So growing tall all the way from the heel, the back of the leg. You can keep a soft bend in the standing leg if that feels better. And find that tuck of the chin towards the chest if you can from here. Thinking about energizing all the way from the crown of the head. Inhaling. Exhale. We're going to hold for one more, finding steadiness in the breath. And exhale, softly bend into the standing leg. Drop the left toes. Turn all the toes to face the left. Bringing the hands up alongside the ears. Take a full breath as you arrive here. The legs are wide. And exhale, folding in between the legs. Find your prasarita. As you arrive here, press into fingertips. Take a halfway lift. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, folding in between the legs. You can bring the hands down towards the earth, down towards blocks. And think about the crown of the head moving down towards the earth, finding that length through both sides of the neck. Softness into the tops of the shoulders. If your hands are where mine are, and there's a soft bend into the elbows, think about wrapping the elbows towards one another and tilting the tailbone towards the sky. This might just gently intensify the opening, the stretch into the hamstrings. One more full breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, turning towards the right front foot. Take an inhale and bend into the front leg. Drop the left knee down towards the ground. Inhaling here, arms alongside the ears. And as you exhale, bend into the left elbow. Find a tricep stretch. So here might be where you stay. Otherwise, we're going to release the right hand. Find our Gomukhasana arms. You can use a piece of clothing. You can hold your top, your bra, your t-shirt, anything that makes this bind a little bit more accessible, or you can find the fingers. As you inhale, lift the left elbow towards the sky, pour the weight back, lifting the heart up and open. There's a sense of lifting up and out of the groin here, engaging into the left glute. Holding for 2 breaths, inhale. Connecting with the rhythm of your own breath. Exhale. Come up through center. Inhale, release the arms. Send the hips back and fold forward. Exhale, allow the right leg to lengthen. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. And exhale to fold forward. And we're going to take that right leg a little bit wider so it's almost meeting the edge of the mat, and bring both hands inside the leg. Creeping the hands forward as far as feels comfortable. You can be to fingertips. And bowing the head down. Find that space into the right hamstring. Active into the right foot, flexing through the ankle, anchor down through the right heel. The toes face up and pull almost towards the right knee. So you want to think about closing the space between the shin and the toes. Let's take one more full breath. And exhale. Nice, everyone. Walk the hands up through center. Keep the right leg long. We're going to start to hover the right foot. Circle it around and exhale, cross it over the left leg here. And you can send the gaze over the left shoulder so you can just spot your foot out the corner of your eye. And then start to walk the hands off the left side of the mat as well, walking them towards the top corner and melting the heart down towards the ground. Take a breath here, inhale. And take a breath, exhale. Walking the hands back where they came from through center. Float the right toes, take an inhale. And exhale. Bring the knee to nose, step it in between the hands. Tuck the left toes, float the left knee, find your high lunge on an inhale. And exhale, open up to your warrior 2. Drop the right elbow towards the right thigh. Circle the arm, find extended side angle. So we're relatively light into the bottom arm here. We're thinking about lifting up and out of the thigh, finding equal length into right waist and left waist. Let's breathe for 2. Breathe for 1. Exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Rise through your high lunge on an inhale. As you exhale, circle the arms back and plant the hands down towards the floor. Bring the knee towards the nose as you inhale, push into the hands round through the shoulders and step it back to a high plank. Breathing for 1, rounding through the shoulder blades, creating space between them. And exhale, option to drop down to the knees here and chaturanga, or you can keep your high plank, bend the elbows and hover at elbow height. Take a cobra or an upward facing dog as you inhale. And exhale, roll it over the toes. Find your downward facing dog. Taking one full breath. Exhale. Let's lift the heels, gaze forward. Take a big step towards the top of your mat. A halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Okay, we're going to drop the left hand down towards the floor. Deep bend into the left knee, lengthen into the right leg, and find a stretch as you open the right hand towards the sky. You can always drop the hand towards the base of the spine if that feels better for you. Breathing, lengthening, opening. Exhale. Full breath. And exhale, drop right hand down towards the floor. Deep bend into the right knee. Drop the right hand, find length, lift and lengthen. Inhale. And exhale. Nice straight line all the way from the bottom fingertips to the top. Spaciousness between the shoulder blades and softness into the neck. Next exhale, we release our hand down towards the ground. Let's bring the interlace of our hands behind our neck here. Close the elbows together and start to slowly roll up with softly bent knees, vertebra by vertebra, finding that nice stretch into the back of the neck. And as you arrive at the top of your mat, start to release the hands. Find your Tadasana. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. Gaze lifts towards prayer. And exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. Send the weight in towards the left leg. Draw the right knee up towards the chest on an inhale. As you exhale, send it back to your warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So again, there can always be a soft bend into the standing leg here. Flexion into the back toes. So again, think about pulling the toes towards the shins. And an engagement through the glute is going to help us find height into the leg. Let's breathe for one more. Navel draws in towards the spine as you exhale. Drop the right toes down towards the floor. Turn all the toes to face the right. Wide-legged fold. Take an inhale, lift the arms. And this time as we exhale, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Take an extra breath here. Send the knuckles down, lift the heart. And exhale, folding forward. So actively squeezing the shoulder blades together here. Think about the knuckles lifting up and over as though we're trying to reach the pinkies down towards the ground. And then start to move the weight forward subtly into the fronts of the feet. You can dial the toes in a few degrees if that feels more comfortable. One more breath. And exhale. Okay, release the interlace. Take a halfway lift on an inhale. And releasing, fold, exhale. Turn towards the front leg on an inhale and drop down towards the right knee. Circle the arms back on an inhale here. And exhale. We're finding that bend into the right elbow this time. The left hand can catch the right elbow and then start to pull the weight back from here. Otherwise, finding your Gomukhasana arms, threading the left hand under and maybe finding the fingertips to meet. As you inhale here, think about sending the right elbow back and again, lift up and out of that right glute. You almost want to think about tucking the ribs in just a touch and then pouring the weight back from here. Pressing into the front foot for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Final breath. And exhale. Release the arms as you come through center. Inhale. Send the hips back and fold over a straight front leg. Exhale. Take a halfway lift and just allow that heel to open towards the edge of the mat so you can bring both arms inside the leg. Beautiful. Walking the hands forward. Thinking about sending the hips, the tailbone back as the fingers move forward here. Creating all that space, all that length into the torso, the waist, the intercostal muscles, the spinal vertebra. Maybe releasing any tension into the lower back. Take a full breath. And exhale. Walk the hands back where they came from. Press into the hands. Keep that leg nice and long as you start to hover it open and cross it over the back leg so the toes just about move off the mat. Travel the hands over towards the right gaze, so maybe you can just see the toes and start to melt the heart down towards the ground. Take a steady breath here, inhale. Melting heart pose, Anahatasana, exhale. Final breath. And exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Walk the hands back through center. Lift the leg up, knee towards the nose, round through the spine, make space, and step the foot forward. Tuck the back toes as you rise on an inhale, find your high lunge, and exhale, open up to your warrior two. Adjust the feet as you need, and then drop the elbow towards the left thigh, reach the right arm up and alongside the ear. So again, try not to dump into that shoulder and collapse into the left side waist. Lift up and out. And then think about opening the knee towards the left. So rather than tracking in and over the midline, we want to think about opening, and almost as though my hand is there and you're pressing into my hand. Breathing one. And exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Let's pivot back onto the right foot. Find a high lunge as you inhale. And as you exhale, circle the arms, ground them down towards the floor and step the left foot to join the right Gomukhasana. Exhale. Lower all the way down towards the earth, bending into the elbows. You can drop the knees as you need. And then start to lift the chest halfway. We're going to walk the hands forward and just past the corners of the mat. Come to fingertips here. As you inhale, start to lengthen through the elbows. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale, drop the left shoulder in towards the midline and gaze towards the right armpit. Breathing through center, inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, dropping right shoulder in towards the midline. Nice, everyone. We're going to go for one more on each side. Lift and lengthen. Exhale to drop left shoulder. Inhale, center. Move with your breath. Right shoulder drops. Exhale. Coming back through center here. Keep the lift and the height through the chest, and you're just going to walk the hands back towards the rib cage. So here might be where you stay. You're wrapping the elbows towards the waist. Think about pulling the hands back as the hips move forward. Find a Shalabhasana. Option to start to hover the toes, hover the hands here, just an inch away from the floor. And maybe you start to lengthen the arms alongside the ears. Breathing, inhale. Energizing through the fingertips, the toes, exhale. Engage the glutes for one. And release down towards the earth, exhale. Take a moment, shuffle the hips from side to side, left to right, maybe some twists and turns, rotation through the neck if you like. Okay, slide the hands back towards the side of the ribs, tuck the toes, find an upward facing dog or a cobra. Exhale as your downward facing dog, send the weight back, hips are high. Okay, let's bend into the knees, lift the heels, gaze forward. You can step, jump, float, land onto the feet, and then drop the sit bones back towards the earth. As you inhale, release the right leg forward, and then we're going to sit onto the right butt cheek and take a external rotation of that left leg. So the heel is outside the glute. If that's uncomfortable, bring a block or a cushion and pop it underneath the sit bone, and it's just going to create some extra space for you to fold here. So start to find length, lifting the arms up alongside the ears as you inhale. And as you exhale, turn to face the right corner of your mat. And we're going to find a twist here. So reaching the left hand towards the outside of the right leg. And then the right hand can walk out towards fingertips to the side as you fold forward. 2 steady breaths. Final breath. Exhale. Nice, everyone. Through center as you inhale, release the arms. As you exhale, ground through that right foot. Find length on your inhale, and this time the right arm is going to thread inside the right thigh. So you might want to shuffle up, lift the sit bones and sit back towards the heel here. It's a bit more comfortable for me. And then start to reach the arm forward. And exhale, maybe there's a bind around the front of that shin. So you can either take it just with that right arm, or you can start to release the left hand, find the fingertips of the right, and think about squeezing the right knee in towards the shoulder. Breathing 2. Inhale. Release, exhale. Nice, everyone. Okay, release your bind, sit back towards your sit bones. And then we're going to find the outside of our right foot for Crown Chasana. So here you can always have that block still underneath the sit bones. Send the weight back as you inhale, allow the foot to come away from the floor, and then start to lengthen through the leg. So here I want to think about my heel coming up towards the sky rather than my toes. The toes are still pulling back and down towards my shin. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, the drawing together of the shoulder blades. 2 breaths to hold. Exhale. Final one. Well done, everyone. Exhale. Okay, shuffle onto your right sit bone. Draw both knees together and start to float the toes away from the floor. Find Navasana boat pose. You can keep the knees bent here, or you can start to lengthen through the legs. The palms face up. We're taking 3 breaths. I'm going to keep you here in silence. So just connecting with your own breath as you hold here. Well done, everyone. Release the left leg down towards the floor. We're going to find that external rotation of the right leg this time. So heel towards the outside of the glute. Bring your block with you if you took it away. And start to find your length as you inhale. Exhale, turn the chest towards the top corner of the mat and fold for your twist. Right hand towards the left foot or calf, using the left fingertips to ground and stabilize here. And if you're at home, you can use a piece of clothing as a strap around the foot if the foot feels a bit far away. But we're working the heart towards the shin here. And then use the resistance in the hand to just aid your twist subtly. 1 more breath. Exhale. Come up to rise on your next inhale. And as you exhale, lean the weight back so that you can step the sole of the foot just a little bit closer towards the groin. And then shifting over towards the right if you want. Peel the sit bones away, sit towards the heel, find length, the left arm's high. Threading it forward as you exhale inside the thigh. Maybe here you find your bind. You can always stay in this folded shape, but keep that engagement of the knee towards the shoulder. Otherwise, you're going to find your bind from here. Bringing any props with you, a block underneath the forehead. Keep that engagement, activation, knee in towards the side body. Might be a bit of hip compression happening here. Find what works for you. You can shift and change the postures as you need. Make it work for your body. We're going to be here for 1 more breath. And exhale. Release the bind. Sit back down towards your sit bones. Create a little bit of space. Take that foot a bit wider. And then finding hands around the outside of the left foot. Lean the weight back and then start to lengthen the leg as feels comfortable. Again, bring your strap with you. From here, as the heel moves upwards and the elbow softly bend out towards the side, allow the shoulders to roll away from the ears. So I really am trying to focus on finding some softness into my neck at the moment. I can overcompensate a bit and it gives me a really sore neck. So if you can try and draw the shoulder blades down and together, it might take a little bit of tension away from the neck muscles. 1 more breath. And exhale. Okay, drop the sole of the foot down towards the ground. Bring the right foot to join the left. We're going to take our peace fingers and bind them around our big toes here. Start to shift the weight back. And from here, starting to float the heels, finding your Ubaya Paschimottanasana. So it's kind of like an Avasana, just with that extra bind of the toes. Shoulders roll away, heels move up. Exhale, Uddiyana Bandha pulls towards the navel. Final breath. And exhale, we're going to slowly release the toes. Take a moment here floating the feet. Hands to prayer at heart center as you slowly unravel all the way down towards the earth. As slowly as possible. Beautiful, everyone. Bring the soles of the feet down towards the ground. And we're just going to find a nice stretch into the glutes from here. Start to roll up through the spine as you inhale. Find your bridge pose. Draw the right knee up and cross the ankle over the left thigh. Open through the right hip. Breathe here, inhale. Keep pressing into the left foot, lifting the left hip. And exhale, squeeze the right glute to open. One more breath. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down towards the ground, but keep your figure four. You're going to drop the right foot over towards the side. Find a figure four supine twist. You can release the right arm out towards the cactus. And I quite like to use my left hand here to press inside the seam of my right thigh to continue opening through the hip flexor. It just subtly changes the sensations here. One more breath. And exhale, coming back through center. Drop the right foot and start to find your bridge again as you inhale. Peel the tailbone away, the lower, mid, upper back. And exhale. Knee comes in, left knee this time. Crossing left ankle over right thigh, open through the hip. Again, really important here to press into that right foot. It's going to help us lift through the right hip and engage the right glute. And then actually maybe a bit of softness into that left hip just allows it to drop open. Full breath. Nice lower exhale. Keep your figure four and just allow the foot to fall towards the side of your mat, the right side this time. You can open through the arms as feels good, or maybe you bring the right hand to press inside the left thigh. One big breath. And exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Let's come through center. And draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Bring the soles of the feet together, open through the knees, and drop the feet down towards the ground. Find your Supta Baddha Konasana. From here, it might feel quite nice to reach, stretch the arms up alongside the ears, maybe taking a bind of the elbows. Exhale, you can always place something underneath the thighs if that feels nice and supportive into the hips. And you can stay here as long as you like. And this is a nice place to pause in between the practice and our final resting posture, our Shavasana. You can always close in this shape if that feels good for you. Otherwise, starting to heel the feet towards the top corners of the mat. Spread the arms nice and wide. Take up as much space as you need, as much space as you can. And allow the feet to fall away from one another. Soft bend into the elbows. And just draw the chin towards the chest to create some space through the back of the neck again. And visualize the breath traveling up through the feet, up through the legs, the front body, into the chest. And tracing the shape of your lips, your nose, your forehead. Before going all the way up and over the crown of the head, into the back of the skull, neck, between the shoulder blades, down the spine, the backs of the legs, and back to the heels where it began. Following the breath's pathway, and pausing at any spots, any places that need a bit more extra attention, any places that the breath might be getting trapped through, any sensitivities, any restrictions. Inviting softness into the belly as it rises and falls. Filling up every cell in the body with a new quality of breath. Noticing if there's any difference in the physiology of the body, in the quality of the breath, the quality of our thoughts. Maybe there's not, and that's totally fine. We are fluctuating beings, not every day is perfect. We rise and fall, we ebb and flow. Inviting a sense of gratitude into this asana. Gratitude for showing up, for taking time to breathe and move and make space in the body. And make space and time and give energy back to yourself. And let's bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the lower belly. Noting this gentle, smooth rise and fall. As the lower belly and the chest, the heart space fills up the curve into the palm of the hand. Let's take a full breath in, inhale. Part the lips, sigh it out, exhale. Finding a full body stretch or rubbing the eyes with the fists, anything that slowly starts to bring you back into this space. And you can ground the soles of the feet, draw the knees in towards the chest, reach the arms above the head. As you exhale, drop the knees over towards the right, take a gentle twist. And back through center, the knees fall over towards the other side. And when you arrive back through center, using a hand or two to slowly bring you up through seated, keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable, or just taking a soft gaze past the tip of the nose. Turning the palms to face downwards, take an inhale, grow tall, root through the sit bones, grow through the crown of the head, and exhale, arriving back here. Hands to prayer, heart center. For love, for kindness, sharing a little piece of energy, of love with someone who might need a little bit of extra care and consideration today. Lifting our prayer to our third eye space. It was a pleasure to guide you as always. Thank you for joining me online, bowing down to earth to close your practice today. Thank you so much, everyone. Always such a pleasure to be here with you virtually. Take care, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you again.